Annedroids is a brand new kids TV show that's streaming now on Amazon Prime. I've seen the first few episodes and I had the chance to actually visit the set and talk to the cast and crew. And I have to say, I'm completely in love with this show. I want it to succeed and I want you to watch it. And so with that in mind, here are 5 reasons why you should watch Annedroids, regardless of whether or not you are actually a kid. Number 1, serious girl power. The main character is a little girl genius scientist named Anne who builds androids and teaches her friends scientific concepts while occasionally blowing things up. Here's the star, Addison Holly, talking about what it was like to audition as Anne.
And when I auditioned for this role, it was a lot different because I'm used to playing the young sister and the precocious little girl. And this was a lot different because Anne is a genius. She's a genius scientist, and she's kind of a little girl that acts like a 30-year-old, and she acts older than her age. And I find it almost a challenge sometimes, like with the words I have to say, but as I read the script, I learn things about science, and I find it's so great because the show is teaching kids and people about science in fun ways, and I think that will make the viewers enjoy it and want to learn more about science.
Number 2, a great message that anybody can learn to love science. Here's co-star Yadil Dowlin talking about how this show could change kids' perception on science and on who gets to do science.
It's been really about the white males always being like the scientific geniuses. What I like about the show is that there really is a little bit of something for everyone. Anne's a girl. The main character about the genius of science is a girl. That's already amazing. Yeah. And then you see that a minority like me is playing a character who's interested in that, which is really cool. You have a really surprised character who maybe isn't as interested in school, like Shania gets interested in science. Yeah. And along the episodes, as you'll see, other characters play in, like Zach, one of Nick's friends. Both his parents are gay. And that's okay. It shows that different people can be introduced to the science world, and that this show is recommended from everyone, whether your guardian is a grandparent or you only have a single mom or a dad. That's okay. We'll accept you and we'll show you our show.
Number 3, it's a show that doesn't talk down to kids. A lot of shows underestimate children's sophistication and their interest in sometimes complicated topics like how we build our own identity. Annedroids completely subverts that by tackling those issues head on. For instance, their treatment of Pal, who is one of Anne's robot friends, who is neither a boy nor a girl. Here's the head of animation and founding partner of the production company, Matt Bishop.
When we were designing Pal, what we did is we took the proportions of an 8-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl on top of each other. We kind of modeled areas to attempt to mimic it, because Pal hasn't decided what gender it wants to go with.
So I asked Addison what gender she thinks Pal is going to end up choosing. Here's what she said.
I don't think Pal really wants to be a girl or a boy. I think Pal likes to be Pal. And I don't think Pal thinks that Pal has to be a certain gender to do certain things. I think Pal likes just being a pal and can do anything.
Reason number 4 why you should watch Annedroids is messy science. And I don't just mean messy explosions. I mean showing the process of science as being an inherently messy process. For instance, in the very first episode, Anne teaches her friends what a hypothesis is, and her first hypothesis fails. While her friends are disappointed, Anne points out that this is actually her favorite part because now she gets to come up with a new, even better hypothesis.
We failed.
We didn't fail. We just discovered another way of doing it wrong.
And that treatment of the scientific method shows itself in the set, which is in a junkyard. It's full of dirty, broken down parts that are all cobbled together into something that eventually ends up working. Here's creator J.J. Johnson talking about that design aesthetic.
But it's function. It's utilitarian. She finds she needs to build an observatory, so she knows that it needs to rotate, so there's an old carousel, and she retrofits it. But she would never have done that to have a carousel. Like, that's just a means to an end for her. And I love that. Like, so all of the designs are misshapen, they're bent, but they fully work. Her clothes are ripped and self-made, and she's latching them together. All of that I love.
I already want to cosplay as her.
Okay. Please do. That will blow my, if that happens,
right.
I may die. I might just like keel over.
I'll
But
do it.
yeah, but I just think it's so great. Like, she doesn't care what people think.
And the final reason why you should watch Annedroids is for the pretty sweet special effects. Now, Johnson says that he wanted the show to be grounded in reality, which is why it's live action instead of animated. But still, there are some really awesome CGI androids, which tell the viewer that anything can happen really in this world. So they showed me how they go about creating the androids for this world, and it's really cool. They use this thing called LiDAR, which is light detection and ranging, and it's something that has previously only been used in films. And so this is pretty new to TV. What they do is they take a detailed 3D map of the entire set, and that allows them to place these androids in the set and let them move around and cast shadows and things like that in a highly realistic manner. It's incredibly sophisticated for a children's TV show. So like I said, I got to tour the set, talk to the cast and crew, and I was just completely blown away by how passionate everyone was about making this show happen, despite the fact that they ran into a lot of pushback from the traditional networks that were concerned about things like kids replicating dangerous experiments or the mere fact that the lead character was a little girl.
And in the U.S., it was a challenge. We had a lot of, pushback, and really about Anne. And we were lucky at the time that we had a lot of shows going. So I was angry enough that I was like, well, then we just won't make the show, right? Or we'll find an international coalition to do it. And we actually did. Like, eventually Germany came on, SVT, which is Sweden, and we started to, head into production that way. And then it took the creation of a whole new network that wanted to take a risk, as if that's a risky proposition.
And that's why I really want this show to succeed. So please, if you have kids, go to Amazon Prime and check out Annedroids. If you don't have kids, but you support this kind of educational and entertaining programming, go to Amazon Prime and watch Annedroids. I promise you that it will be at least as entertaining as The Real Housewives of whatever, and probably about 1,000 times as intellectually stimulating, even if you already know what a hypothesis is. So thank you so much to Amazon Prime for taking a chance on this show. I really, really, really hope that it succeeds. It definitely deserves to.
That sounds like that. We made that up one time because all the time, of course, in the junkyard we have to wait for the trains or the planes that go by because there's lots of planes too. Thank you. Waiting on a train, waiting on a plane, waiting on everything that rhymes with that. That's how it goes.